O Filii et Filiae, Rex Celestis, Rex Gloriae.
Goliad State Park and Historic Site is a really special place. We have a really nice blend of history as well as natural resources. The park has camping, places to go hiking, biking, canoeing, paddling, as well as the history, which it's mostly known for.
Probably around 5 or 6 o'clock, church bell rings again. Everyone went back to church one more time. That was, again, completely different for the Native Americans. A whole new experience.
This is a 18th century Spanish mission, one of the first efforts by Europeans to colonize Texas. Besides being introduced to Catholicism, the natives were introduced to all different types of Spanish living.
That wall is original as well, all the way around.
When the mission was at its peak, there were about 300 people living here, and those were mainly natives housed within these walls.
The missions at Goliad lasted 81 years, closing in 1830. The buildings eventually fell into disrepair, and much of the wood and stone from the site was salvaged by local residents. The property was acquired by the state in 1931, and a year later, the first of many restoration efforts were begun.
We have the historic mission Espiritu Santo de Zuiga, dating back to 1749. We have Mission Rosario, which is about 4 miles outside of downtown Goliad.
This was the bell tower.
Rosario would have been very similar to what you see here at Espiritu Santo. It was never quite as successful.
But when they did an excavation here, what they found was a lot of little pieces of painted plaster.
The mission compound was never developed to the extent that this was. And so when you visit there, you're only going to see the ruins of the mission buildings. You'll see the outlines of all the different rooms that were there. It's really quite interesting to go visit Rosario and see the similarities and the differences between the activities at both sites.
Goliad is also the birthplace of General Ignacio Zaragoza. Born at the nearby community of La Bahia in 1829, Zaragoza led the Mexican army in the Battle of Puebla. On May 5, 1862, General Zaragoza's outnumbered forces defeated the occupying French army, a date now celebrated as Cinco de Mayo.
Many of our visitors come here specifically to see Mission Espiritu Santo. And then they stumble upon the fact that we have beautiful campgrounds in our park and a lot of nature.
These are called our eastern lubber grasshoppers, Spanish dagger. This is called the anacua tree. It just grew from nature decided to make it grow.
We have beautiful nature trails where our park rangers will do guided tours on the weekend.
It's a hognose. He's smashing himself out and making himself wider to look bigger right now. You should never try this, okay? Because I'm a professional park ranger. I know what I'm doing.
We do have a beautiful biking trail called the Angel of Goliad Hike and Bike Trail. It connects downtown Goliad, which is historic in itself, goes all the way through the park, and then connects to Presidio La Bahia, just down the road from us.
There you go, got it.
And we have the San Antonio River Trail. It's a real natural, undeveloped trail. It's great to be able to see the river. One of the other special things we have is we're on the Goliad Paddling Trail, which is located on the San Antonio River. It's about 6.1 miles of beautiful, pristine river.
The river has always been one of the main draws of this part of Goliad. There's a lot of evidence that it was inhabited by native groups well before any of the Europeans had arrived here. And so when the Spaniards came to this area, they recognized it as a good place to build the mission as well. You really get a good sense of the history here because we have so much of the site intact. Here you have the entire perimeter wall. You have the more or less natural landscape surrounding the mission, so you really get a good sense of what it would have been like to live and work here all those years.
I think the thing I love the most about this park is it is a small, peaceful park. We have a little bit of everything here. We have the San Antonio River, the beautiful Mission Espiritu Santo, the campgrounds that are just gorgeous, lots of wildlife. It's just a blend of everything that you don't find at other parks. It's a lot of fun.